And of course, we have our lady on the line. And before, good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I am great, Vernon. How you doing?
You're not supposed to talk. Since me sing, you must sing good morning too. I don't understand you. Eh?
Sing.
Yeah, they
I
know.
am not blessed with that talent like you.
No. I just love to sing. That's all. Listen, before you even start, yes, listeners, we have a dynamic lady here. Her name is Dawn Davis, a consumer. And before she starts talking, I am going to commend her first. Now, you have nearly 3 million persons in Jamaica. And I'm putting it to you that if we see a sinkhole on the road, I will see them all the while, and 2.999 drop in at the sinkhole and broke them foot, all they do a cuss and go and bad and and you probably find one or two who will stand up, who will write, who will speak up and say exactly, we cannot continue like this. I am hoping that this program will encourage more persons to get up, stand up. I don't have all the solutions, I can't do all the work, but I can motivate you, I can encourage you to use the power of radio. Radio is not just about playing music. It's a powerful medium that consumers can use to fight for their rights and to ensure that they get what they rightly deserve. And I want to commend you, Don, for your work and your fight, because when you fight for yourself, you're also fighting for others. So let me commend you.
Thank you, Vernon. It's not easy. Sometimes you fight till you want to give up.
Well, there's Marcus Garvey and Paul Bogan and those others, so join the line.
Yeah, but the willpower. That's why the willpower to persevere.
Now, I want you to tell me your stories. We have quite a few. I think we have to go up until about 10:45, so we should have enough time. Tell me your stories. You have more than one. I think you have a current one now. And tell me what you've been doing, and feel no way. Those who are giving you trouble, say who's not performing and which organization not performing. You might like one that I am associated with, but I couldn't care less. We just have to do what needs to be done. Over to you, Dawn.
Okay, well, I have this problem with parts problem.
Right.
I went through to the Consumer Affairs Commission, which, even the last communication I've had with them, I've had no response. And so that's when I got in touch with you.
No, hold on, no, this cannot work. My very lovely head there, Mrs. Dulcie Allen, who, I know you listen to this program, I hope that we have to talk to you right after, because this can't work at all. So when you sent a letter to them?
And so after I tried on my own with a lot of efforts and no results, I came to you. Yeah. So I did what you asked me to do. I wrote a letter to you and I copied to them. This is about 2 months now.
Right.
And I haven't had any response. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know what's happening.
All right, so we have to link with them. I'm going to ask you now, because I'm going to pick up this case in an active way for those who are listening, so you can know I am affiliated with the Consumer Affairs Commission. I'm a commissioner there. So I'm going to ask you to write a letter now, and you're going to copy, because whether I work or not is not work. Whether I'm a commissioner or not, we need to do what needs to be done. So the complaint will be about the organization. You're going to send a letter to the head, that's the CEO, Mrs. Dulcie Allen, and copy me, indicating that you have a problem and you have not heard from them. You should hear every now and again. I mean, if nothing new has developed. But another thing, I'd love us to have the facility where if you make a complaint, they give you a number, you can go online, enter your password, and you can see exactly what is the status of your report. So that is something I need to suggest to them and look into.
That would be great, because I've had no response, absolutely none.
Right.
Absolutely none. And I mean, this has been going on, and the issue really has to do with parts. What I get to realize out of the parts that you're buying, you have some, not like dealers, the non-dealers who are selling car parts, and they're selling you genuine parts, non-genuine parts as genuine parts.
Hold on, this is serious. Listeners, hold on, this is serious. We have to listen carefully, because I had a bad experience where I have to just hug it up. Go again slowly for me. You're saying that you have parts dealers out there who are selling car parts and they're not selling the genuine parts. So they say genuine, if it's a Toyota car, it's a Toyota part. Are you saying that is it written on the package that it's like a Toyota part, for example, or you just assume because they gave you, they said it's a Toyota part that it is? Tell me specifically.
Actually, this situation, I went and they decided they didn't have, and it took like a couple of days. Well, it took more than a couple of days to get it. But when I got it, it wasn't in a box. It wasn't sealed or anything like that.
Oh, Lord, that should have raised a red flag.
Right, so I said it to him. I said, but the box is not. He said, don't worry about it. It's okay. But then, when I went ahead with it, it didn't last any time. And when I went back now, he told me that, he doesn't believe I should go and get it checked. So he sent me to one of his connections. And they checked. So I said to him, okay, if I go and the problem is what it is, will you replace them? So he said, yes. I went, the man said, yes, the shocks weren't good. And he said he replaced them. And then every day it's just a run around. The parts don't come, them don't clear. And, it went on for a while. Till I got fed up, and so that's when I went to CAC about it. And I didn't get any response. But my concern, not only was the box opened and the thing was open, but he told me that he bought one from one of the dealers, from the dealer here. So I said to him, okay, so in that case, why don't you go back to them? And, see if you can get or something. Well, there was no response to that. What piqued my interest now is that I went to the agent and bought some because I needed back ones. You're talking about the front ones. So I went and bought the back ones. So when I went and bought the back ones from the same agent who represent the vehicles, it was well sealed in carton box, and it was nicely labeled where it was manufactured, when it was manufactured, and all of that. So then I realized that something is
wrong. By the way, you got a receipt from the company, right? You have your receipt still?
Yes, I have receipts from both of them.
The reason I ask, you see, because anything is possible, this is Jamaica. Next thing you know, a worker sell your part is not really coming from the company, but he just probably sourced it because I had a situation to deal with, and I realized that the worker was trying to do a little backdoor deal. But he was quite stupid, I must say, because he didn't realize that I knew everybody at the company. So I caught that one. And if he's listening, you better watch yourself, my friend, because you are being watched. And sometimes you see certain things happen to you after a while, you wonder why. But my concern now is the state. These things are happening. We have had challenges in the financial sector, other places. We must have the kind of state apparatus and the laws that remember we have price controls again, right? But there are some abuses taking place out there. We must have the kind of controls in place. So when an organization is found guilty, it's not a matter of just sending them a letter as a refund. But if you refund the customer, but if it has happened a number of times, then that company must either be closed down. Probably you don't want to close it down, but those who manage it they need to step aside. The same way, if I go on here and I say certain things, I have to apologize, and the company might fire me. Too many persons in the private sector are doing what they do and getting away with murder. This must stop. And they get away with it because there are very few persons like you who are willing to stand up and fight and report. Now, I'm a commissioner of the CAC, and guess me not like what I'm hearing. Mark, I can't take your word for it, but I hear what they have to say. But this matter must be dealt with today, ma'am. Get that letter written today, and I'm going to talk to them too also. Because if you have to go to them, you must get response. Normally, they do a very good job, So I don't know if it's a staff member problem or what. But normally I must tell you, not because I sit on the board, because I will tell you I don't stand for foolishness. They do a good job, so I don't know what has happened in this case. And the head, Dulcie Allen, very modern, caring, understanding head. So something seemed to have slipped there. And if it slipped, they need to apologize to you, and they need to jump on it like now.
And, I remember you sent me to them some time ago with some premix concrete.
Oh, yes.
It took a little while, but we finally got that one resolved. So I give them credit for that.
Oh, we have to commend them. Oh, yes.
I give them credit for that.
Tell us about that premix thing, concrete. Tell me about it and your experience and what happened so that those who are listening. So, first thing to my listeners who are buying parts for motor vehicles, be careful. Make sure that if you ask for a particular part, you get it. And it should be stated on the receipt that this is a part that you get. Because if you don't, it means therefore you should have cause for action because they have given you what you did not ask for or you didn't pay for.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I must tell you a bad experience that I had, and that's why sometimes it's best to go to the dealers. Because it's sometimes cheaper to go to a liquor man on the road, but you will learn that will end up sometimes costing you far more. My air conditioning unit went bad, and I said, oh, that's a little thing, separate, I don't care on an engine basis, so let me tell you what. For the first time, I said, let me go to a man on Malines Road there. And I was told that, he does air conditioning system for motor cars, and quite a few persons told me about it. So I went there. When I drove out the car, I realized this wasn't working properly. So I went back again, and they thought I was just being miserable, and his wife is a very obnoxious person, should never be dealing with customers and create a big excitement. Anyway, they eventually changed the parts and so on. So it worked. It worked for about a year. And after a year, started giving problems again. So I took it back to the dealer, said not going back anywhere else again. When I took it to the dealer, you know what they found out? They found out that the incorrect parts were put in. And you know what it did? It messed up some pulley system and everything. And now I'm learning that the air conditioning system link up with all other things in the car. You know how much for the compressor which you have to buy, when it's a brand new one, it had to be imported. It cost $300,000.
Oh, my God.
Oh, by the way, that's at the end of the expense set, you know. So if you don't see me walk and see me fan my face on the road, you see? You don't understand now, right? But I feel behind I fan myself because $300,000. And then guess what? You don't talk about the workmanship yet. And we just discovered recently that another part is required. So I am fully convinced that we need to put things in place. So those persons who are working on cars and so on, they must be licensed. And if they do not function at a certain level, reports are made, their license must be withdrawn. Because this is not just a cost to the individual, it's a cost to the country, it affects our foreign exchange. So we need to tighten up the system. Jamaica too blinking slack. It's slack. Everybody just do what they want to do and get away with it.
Our credibility is on the line big time.
Exactly. Mr. Prime Minister, you need to put on your foot, sir. Certain things you can press gas, but certain things you have to press the brake, Mr. Prime Minister. I keep on saying it on this program. The Prime Minister, nice gentleman, but so sometimes niceness not going to get me too far. You're going to have to put on your foot sometime. Too much slackness are going. Okay, you're going to another point.
One more thing. You know what I am thinking? Maybe we should have a system where when we have these complaints, it's registered. So, somebody looking for a mechanic or whatever, they can go to the site and look and see if there's any complaint against this person.
Well, I tell you what, that has crossed my mind already. Now, I will tell you, if anybody is willing to give support to that kind of drive, just send me a WhatsApp message to 876-816-5261. Let me tell you something. If persons understand that what one is trying to do is to do good and support the good that we are trying to do, we can make a big difference. If we put on a dance, if you're woman with no clothes and so on and dance all and rare. Massive crowd me I get and rare what I go at you going to hold. But when you're doing something like this, it's not sexy, it's not attractive. So that's part of the problem that I have. But you're absolutely right. We need to have a website. They have it for some places overseas. So if you go to a site, they will tell you the score for that particular company. You're absolutely right. So if there's anybody who's interested in working with me, let me know.
Because you could go there, you could get, if you need somebody to do whatever field you need them for, you could go there and find somebody. Because, you get somebody and then when them come, they don't work good, they want some money up front and then they disappear.
And they disappear. I know of a woodwork place, the amount of money must have make off of people. But I can't understand that the people don't seem to care because even although you're talking with it, for one, we need more persons to listen to a program like this so they can learn. Right?
I think there's something, the thing is something is wrong with our system because the time, I think why people can't be bothered, sometimes it takes so much time. It's like pulling teeth to go through the system to get anything
But
done.
Guess what? If our forefathers said it took too much time, then probably we would still be enslaved today.
True. So I guess we have to be more civil-minded.
Yeah, man. But that thing you suggested, it has come up already. Anybody who's willing to assist me. It might mean, because guess what? All of this thing will cost you. You'd have to pay for a website and so on. So anybody willing to do that, just contact me. Because we definitely, I think, need to do it. But I know what I'm going to do. There's another way it can be done. There's another way it can be done. And it will be done. Thank you very much for that suggestion there. So we have one place already. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you, you're going to score it out at probably out of 6. And probably there's a way to because there's a tricks in trade, matches box in business.
Language.
So I know I was kind of scared to do it, but there is a way to do it. All right, you're another probably 4 or 5 minutes. So over to you now. By the way, I've now appointed you as a Prime Minister of Jamaica, and you're going to speak. And in the bucket till I might send what you have to say to the Prime Minister, because we need some changes around this place. Over to you, Dawn.
Okay, so the other incident with the Consumer Affairs Commission was we paid for some premix for a roof, a flat roof, and it started out very badly. The trucks then came, the trucks weren't working, it was late in the night, and everything just seemed to be going bad. However, they did pour the cement, and after we removed the tie, it was leaking. So I went back to them and I told them it's leaking, and so we need some redress. And I got a lot of runaround. So I did come to you, and you did, refer me to Mrs. Allen and Safety.
Right. By the way, since as you mentioned that, I'm glad you mentioned that the work that I do, because many persons think that it's a sit down. So no, and it's really volunteer work. I'm on radio as a broadcaster. So when I do these things, I'm really volunteering. Some person believe that you're obligated to do it. It's just amazing. It takes a lot of time.
I really appreciate it, and I think you're doing a great job. Very good job.
Thank you.
I really hope you'll get support to continue.
Yes.
So when you referred me to her, and I did write to her, and it took a little while, but eventually come back and forth with the company. Eventually we had a face-to-face meeting with them at the safety's office. Finally they went and they corrected it. They poured another layer of cement on top of what was giving problem. And so we don't have a problem with that. It's corrected, and I really appreciate that. And that was good. Because that was a very expensive venture, and for the mere fact that it's leaking, and you can imagine what a leaking roof is like. Very annoying. So we got that one resolved, and I really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for the TST for correcting that. So I hope I will get some resolve with this matter too.
Well,
looking forward to hearing from them. As to how we can go about resolving this.
And one strategy that I use, as you know, I do this alone, so it's very difficult. Years gone by, I used to get all between 4,000 to 5,000 complaints annually. It's not easy at all. Sometimes I'm up until 2 and 3 in the mornings trying to deal with these complaints. Sometimes persons are willing to assist me, and that is good, and I really thank them for it. So, but like this now, I'm going to put this at the top of the list, but other persons must understand I'm not able to give individual attention. What I do, I can guide you, and the good thing nowadays is that when persons make a report to me and copy me, the persons who are involved, they normally don't even wait for me to call them. They jump at it and they rectify it, which is good. It means, therefore, I've developed a reputation where persons know that don't ramp, and that is good. All right, any final point you want to make about this matter? Do that letter today and explain to Ms. Allen that you're very concerned that you have not heard from them. And you can make the suggestion that I'm going to make also, that we have a system. So when you make a report, you get a reference number and you can go online. I'm very careful how I talk, because you know them have it, and because it's not publicized, I'm not even aware of it. But so, make that suggestion. Tell that you talked to me that I said that I'm going to make that suggestion to them. So when you make a report, there's a reference number, so you can check your updates as to what is happening about your case.
I really appreciate it. So I'm going to do what you just recommend, and I look forward to letting this matter resolve. And thank you for your assistance in this area of problems.
And by the way, not only wait until you have a problem, I want you to continue to help us, because let me tell you something, Don. There are very few persons who are willing to stand up. But when you do something, no, you know what them do? Them find all kind of fault. When persons find faults with what you are doing, then you know that you're doing something good. Thank you, my friend, Don Davis, consumer, woman who don't joke. So when you hear to come by things, don't ramp it out. Take it. So have a wonderful day, my friend.
You keep on doing the great job that you have been doing for us.
Thank you very much.